Hello, Internet and you beautiful creatures of the beyond. Let's continue with our mission. So, we had to find Cory. Cory, which is over here somewhere. And let's inspect our supplies. Everything is alright. This mission is gonna be nice. Nice. Nice with ice. I remember there was a radio called Nice Cream FM. And they had quite nice music. I think it's an internet one, if I remember correctly. Hmm. Oh, wait. Why am I paying so much? Oh, it's because of this one? Ah, but really, why am I paying so much? Ah, well, whatever. We are rich. We do not care about such trivial things. Insignificant aspects of the game that make us lose money, actually, but well, details, who cares? So, there's a lot of activity here. Should avoid it. Like, come on, just repair this stupid ship already. Hmm. Sometimes it just takes ages to repair. But before I even go, have we finished our... Yes, we did. And we can make an improvement. Which gives... Whoa, 8 story points. Um, let's hold on for the... this is becoming extremely expensive. Um, how many story points do I have? 12. Okay. Let's see what we're going to build next. I think we should build some maximum number of industries reached. Well, of course, because we have to grow. So let's go with either orbital station, ground defense, or a patrol HQ. I would kind of want a patrol HQ, but it demands ship components. And we're gonna build this and then we're gonna replace it. Where is the heavy industry produces ship components? Well. We don't have the ability to do that. A way station then. This one increases market and keep multiplier 100k. The range at which slipstreams are detected around the colony by 2 once the capability okay. Accessibility bonus 10. Yeah, we want that. To increase accessibility, we only have 110 at the moment. Well, whatever. We'll do what we can. Let's see what's in the bar. Ask around about Silla Cruz. In the shot of the dark, you can try asking for anyone here knows Cory. Let's try it. I mean, we don't have to go directly. This is what I mean, that the game slips in this crazy little side options that you do not think to just go there and look for. You're like, you see, I'll go on the planet and ask for Cory. But then if you go into the bar, nice. So you ask around about the missing academician, buying moderately priced drinks to lubricate the flow of information. This is a space bar, and Though spacers try to look out for one another, you're finding little in the way of leads, mostly just shrugs and apologies. One graying space dog accepts your drink and says, "Academicians, eh? If you're digging into the trouble that went down in Galatia not too long ago, I suggest you make well clear. Hedges, boots come down hard and fast. Noodling with the jump points is one thing, but what I hear is there was some business with one of the alls behind it. Masterminding, like um, a secret AI masterminding on invasion of the core worlds. The spacer winks, takes a deep drink, and speaks more quietly. Aye, you see if they can close down the jump points. All they got to do is open the gates right upon, and pow! A first slams down the table, a fist, sorry, rattling a couple of empties. The invasion fleet, the one they've been setting for last 200 cycles. See, it all adds up. Them loot figure disappears the exact moment them gates got shut down. You see what I mean? You see what it means? Loot and the AI were working together. The spacer takes another deep drink, continuing. Indeed, timing too perfectly. You see what? What with the loot standing up, the whole lot with them all preaching that we should throw our technology away. Don't you see? The spacer looks around a little unsteadily, then lowers their head to speak almost in a whisper. They was preparing us for the invasion. We shut down them factories and ships and weapon and factories. A finger spin showing you the whole terrible cycle of betrayal. You see? Because if you look close, they said Lud was never caught on all of it, but I seen things. Lud was one of them. A cyborg AI robot. What is it? And there's another left behind to be leading us astray. You know what it means? Our leaders are actually robots. The spacer takes another swing, emptying the glass, then looks at you expectantly. Order another round for the spacer. Yes, I love conspiracy theories. The bartender notices you and rolls their eyes. Oh, you're getting a real story, I bet. Then turns to the spacer. You, I told you no credits, no drink. I won't have you bumming around, disturbing paying customers with more of your crazy stories. Out! The graying spacer gives you an apologetic smile, salutes, and slips unsteadily away. But you know, in all of these fables and conspiracy theories, there's always a little bit of truth sprinkled in there. Of course, it's all flourished and embezzled to look like such a grandiose thing, but yeah, everything starts from a rumor. So the thing with Lud and the AI, there is sort of a connection in the lore, but it's very vague, you know, because Lud is such um, like a messiah in a way, but he was actually a human based on what was captured in the logs of history from the core systems. But who knows what happened? They probably it's very convoluted. So yeah, return to the bar. Um, but that was fun. I love these side quests or side dialogues. Show us a shuttle to the surface to pursue the list of Cory's associates. But before we can do that, let's go see what the administrator has to do. I'm looking for Cory. Let's see what the administrator has to say. Oh. I don't have any associates by that name. She looks distinctively irritated. I'm answering your call because facilitating interstellar trade with major independent operators is within my purview. If you are simply looking for comms ID, I suggest you query a public search terminal. Now, do you have any real business to discuss? Uh, nope. Nope. What about the quartermaster? No? Portmaster? Nothing? Station commander? Okay, let's try. Maybe station commander gives us something. No? Right. I don't know who that is. He looks annoyed because I'm not a com directory. I'm here to coordinate Persian League civil and military assets to ensure the safety and security of Fikenhild and the local system. If you have any business to discuss relating to these matters, I would be diligent to assist you. He doesn't sound particularly delighted, but your diplomatic intuition suggests it would be best not to point this out. Cut the com links. Okay, we kind of didn't go anywhere with that. Officer for hire. Meh. What do you have for sale around here? Nothing that amazing. What else do we need? Do we need anything in particular from here? I think we might need some marines. Let's take some. Um, let's go to the surface of the planet. Descending through the pillars of storm cloud over sparkling seas, your shuttle glides towards Gaia Arco, the cosmopolitan megapolis arcology of Finkenhield. The dampers duel the shock of atmospheric entry to a whisper as you review Bayard's list of Corey's associates, starting with the first entry. Adonia Corus is noted as a surveying parent and lives in a pensioner's quarter. It seems reasonable to start with her. You stand for a moment at the transport hub, considering your options. Well, that's all we have at the moment. Let's go visit her. You stand for a moment, taking in the bewildering signage of the K Arco transport matrix before you shrug and allow your tripod to select the best route to the home of Cory's mom. Cyclopean arcology substructure flashes by you as ride the primary ring tube to a far segment of the metroplex. A small passenger lift fills with the smell of sweet and machine oil of a shift of undersea laborers returning home. Glimpses of the towering arms of K Arco flash by, glittering with thousands of windows. Continue. You find yourself guided through the heart of the residential stack, although through a quiet plaza filled with retirees and well-tended foliage. Then before you is the door of Cory's mom. Um, you press the door chime and barely get out your excuse for the visit before being invited in. Adonia is more than pleased to have a visitor, and despite your protests, has a cup of tea cooling in your hand before you quite know what's happening. She's like a ninja. You only to bring up her daughter to get Adonia's talking. The girl is too clever for her own good, just like her father. Adonia shakes her head with an old memory, but speaks of Sila with pride. The man who visited last time said that was all the questions they had. Didn't they find anything? But look at you, she admires your uniform. Are you also from Fleet? You managed to avoid answering that question. Antonia has a hollow feed of King of Westerners holding court set to half volume and switches effortlessly between commenting on the proceedings and questioning you about personal matters. You hedge your precise age, admit it to operating a space fleet, and leave your martial status vogue. She didn't seem to mind your non answers. Finally, you get the chance to ask a question of your own. What should we ask? What was it that was asking about Scylla before me? Who was it? Sorry. Do you know where I can find Scylla. Just make sure you're seen by any observer. You're seen by any observer. It's interesting. Let's go with the first one. Adonia continues watching some scandal involving the king of Westerners. That man from League Fleet, or was it Munisek? Oh, you people can never get your record straight. It's that new king, so impressive at first, but if you only play to locals, the big wings of Kazaron will take you by the sun, so and so. That's what I say. Give this scandal another week, and everyone will say, Adonia, you were right about everything. This is like a telenovela. Anyway, what was his name? Finally, something. He left the comms chip in case I had some more questions. And I called, but it was an automated response. Can you believe that? So I threw it away. Let him apologize in person. She smiles. I like you much better. You know, agreeably. An agent named Finally. Finally? Interesting. Probably working for the Persian League's intelligence service. Interesting. Time to leave. Having completed what you came here for, you make your apologies to Cory's mom as you move to leave, assuring her that you will find Sila and see that she is safe. And yes, you will absolutely comms if new information comes up. The door softly closes behind you, leaving your ears free of the hollow of its incessant murmur and the endless probing questioning from Antonia. Reaching for your datapad, you discover that you're still holding a cup of cold tea. You carefully set it in front of the door before leaving. Oh, that's so nice. Returning to the transport hub. Okay, we're reviewing the list of associates. Be, Beyond Lata is tagged at childhood's friend and lives in Exurb community. Perhaps she knows something more of Cory personal connections for her early life. At the very least, any other agent following similar leads would have had to have contacted Beyond. You stand for a moment at the transport hub considering your options, so we're going to visit her. You take a transport line outbound. I think we can leave and go to the bar again, probably. We'll check that afterwards. You take a transport line outbound to the K Arco Exorb, a sprawling network of floating municipalities joisting in the sea of the base of the mighty half-submerged arcology. The monorail track gleams in the sun, a straight line toward the horizon like a hardpoint mounted particle lens shot through a nebula. The train breaks through a cloud bank, and you feel the subtle pull of deceleration fighting with a grave field effect as you approach your target. A modular suburban conglomeration. Your glance at your tripod to recall the name of place. Seabank Oasis. Continue. Childhood friend, she's kind of old. You buzz at the doorway to one of our outer compounds, the green hint of lawn showing through the translucent vitreous strip on the top of the wall. After a short delay, a comms plate activates and a tired looking woman appears in hollow. You ask if you are speaking with Bjorn Latta, and would she mind answering some questions about Cory? She looks behind her, then lowers her voice to reply, Yes. Didn't somebody already come by to ask about her? I haven't seen Sila in years. Like I said, look, I don't have much time for this. Can you tell me about Sila herself? Who exactly came by before and questioning you? Tell me about agent finally you spoke with. Nah, we don't care that much about the agent. Okay, like I said, I don't know what she got mixed up with. When I knew Sai, she worked hard, good grades, not no great grades, unless she thought the teacher was wrong. And then Beyond smiles. Now she should stand down. And I don't know, she was pretty serious with Elisa. Elisa Zal? Like I told the other agent something happened. I don't know what. She hung out in a lower city more with that Kevin guy. Got into all kinds of trouble. Then you hear the thin wall of the infant from both the comms plate and over the compound wall. I really have to go now. Goodbye, agent, whatever your name is. Elisa Zal, this name is a new connection. You make a quick note on your tripod. The comms plate clicks off, replacing Beyond's face with the dancing Seabank Oasis mascot, which reminds you that unregistered guests will be asked to leave the excerpt at the end of the work shift. Leave. You turn back towards the monorail line, sub-vocalizing an update to your mission notes. A fog bank rolls in, dimming the bright sun. Go back to the transport hub. You review Braid's list, okay? Kevin Farrow's life has an attached file about an event of some kind of art co-op operating by undercity radicals. He seems like the sort that is used to hiding from the authorities. Maybe he or someone he knows is helping Corey. You scroll through some hollows of what passes for artwork in Kevin's association, and judging by the content, you feel that local Munisec probably has Kevin on a list. You stand for a moment at the transport hub, considering your option. Let's visit in the Undercity. Your transit lift descends into a subsurface district of K Arco. The air thickens with mildew and century-old machine lubricant. You pass through structural tunnels filled with cheap tenements, grey marks, retailers, and fringe ideologies. Your tripod directions lead you to an address where Kevin Farrow had held what the event notice called a militant consciousness happening along an anonymous stretch of shuttered depot fronts. You discovered a secure dock flanked by decaying polymer uh, agitation prints. Camped out sleepers lie in entryways. It feels like the right place. Continue. As you raise your hand to knock, the complaints by the door spurs to life and speaks. You've made your point, Callisto. An officious voice, through distorted by the damaged comms plate. It it signals an elite education and the relaxed authority which comes naturally to its speaker. You want us to know you're looking for Corey, and you're going to shout it from every street corner on Finkel Hill until we acknowledge it. Agent finally Siavong, right? You presume correctly, Captain. The voice sounds almost impressed. We should bring this conversation to a discreet setting, Captain. The voice continues. I'll transmit my comms ID for you to contact. Leave this nearest of anarchist be. Come back topside and let us speak face to face about our mutual interest. The comms plate sputters and dies with a lingering crackle as your datapad pings. It looks like you finally attracted the official attention you are looking for. Mm, should we knock on the door? Yeah, let's try that. Oh, Calvin is there. The damaged comms plates by the door speaks with a crackle. Are you Munisec, we do not consent to a search. Not without then some muffling words and the second voice interrupts. Shut up! I'll handle it. Hidden bolts withdraw and a man steps out. He puts on a sour scowl for you and is dressed in a mix of this dirt cider approximation of a spacer gear mixed with the accountment of some local counterculture fashion. He pulls the door closed and with a lower voice says, ignore that. Is she in more trouble? This is about the whole Galatia thing, isn't it? I assume you're Calvin Farrow? Yeah, obviously, he looks you over. You're not Munisec or Fleet. You're a merc or some kind of spy. Your friend was already sniffing around here. We told him to go lick boots on Kazaron. Kevin crosses his arm impatiently and looks off down the Arco tube, making every effort to show that he doesn't want to talk. Well, who else was asking a question about Cory? I want to help Scylla. Do you know where she is? You know that the fleet intel spies have your comms plates hacked, right? I am told that Lisa could help me find Scylla. Know where she is? Let's go with 4. Let's see what happens. We're gonna make a little lie here. Kevin look at you surprised. You know about Eliza? Who? He looks down the street behind you almost unconsciously. No, don't tell me. I gotta go. You shouldn't be talking to me. If anyone knows where Sila is, maybe Elisa. Maybe it's Elisa. He looks around, puts his body between you and the comms plate, and holds out a knockoff datapad with a comms ID glyph displayed. He nods to you in earnest. You quickly scan the glyph, and your tripod makes a satisfied chime to itself. Continue. Seriously, Calvin says, don't come back here. He slaps the comms plate, unlatching the door bolts. He turns back to you for a moment, but thinks better of it and disappears into the structure. Leave. You turn away from the dismal portico, considering your options. Elisa Zal was the closest to Sila, it seems, and has made herself very difficult to find. Finally, Celia Wong was asking a lot of questions about Cory, so he may know something. It's time to make a call. Your bodyguard silently take flanking position 4 meters behind you, one to each side, as you walk back through the moldering undercity towards the civil lift. Return to the transit hub. You are looking over the list. It looks like you cleared the best hints, and besides, you've got a strong new lead to follow up on. You stand for a moment at the transport hub, considering your option. So it's like an investigation, which is really cool. Return to the shuttle. Um, so now we have a few options. I think we can go to the dock. Let's see. No, nothing. Open the comms link. We could talk to Elisa Zal. But where is that? And we can call to this guy. So, let's try with this guy first. I'm curious. Oh, whoa, whoa, what happened? Callisto, I am. Okay, you. Finally, we may speak directly and discreetly. He lowers his head. His expression hardening, a skill alongside tact, which you would do well to practice. He looks aside. You have a way of complicating matters, such as a certain surveillance operation in the K Arco Undercity. Let me emphasize, he stops himself. No, let us speak to the matter at hand. What is it exactly that you do? It took you long enough to contact me. Well, let's ask what he does. I am, as you see, a representative of the Persian League Fleet Intelligence Service. spreads his hand as is showing he means no harm. I work on behalf of the defense and security of the freedoms enjo- enjoyed by the constitute, constituents of the Persian League. But we are speaking today because of you, Captain. You've been somewhat indiscreet in your search for an asset who is of interest to the service. Uh, where is she? The agent seems genuinely amused. A rather direct question to ask an agent of the service, don't you think? But that is the heart of the matter, and your profile suggests a certain prosperity for, shall we say, direct thinking. Like, he called us stupid. Let me answer you with a question. He leans in. Why should you know where Corey is? I can't disclose. I can't disclose the reason. I intend to find her without your help. Other people seem to think she's important. Um, with some kind of secret project. Yeah, nobody's gonna believe it. I can put you in contact with. Okay, let's try the fifth one. The agent pauses, showing no emotion or movement at all. You almost wonder if the comms feed has frozen, and then he speaks. I am interested, Captain. Shall we make it a trade? Zal comms ID for the location of Cory. He smiles now. Transmit the comms ID for of Elisa. Uh, he studies the tripod. Fascinating, he says, then looks up, setting it aside. Karus is in the Aishira, I, Aishira system. I will provide you. He pauses dramatically as he taps something out of his desk console. Your tripod pings with a plausible looking data intercept of communication between her and Mr. Kevin Farrell. It will show Provost Bayard that you worked hard for it, he says with a wink. Oh, so he was kind of on our side. Uh, how do you know about Bayard? His smiles widens. If I didn't, did you just confirm it? Epic, yes. We are so in trouble. You're just telling me she is. I didn't tell you anything. He gestures towards you. You intercepted the communication, remember? Besides, Ishira, well, it's not a big place, but I'm sure you'll put the pieces together soon enough. What is your end game here? Why help me? Don't worry about it. You have a rogue scientist to track down, and on behalf of the Fleet Intelligence Service, I have nothing to say to you on this subject. Nor have we ever met. I don't know you, you don't know me. Fair enough. The agent claps his hands together. I believe we are finished. What is it your people say? Burn bright, Captain? Well, he won't talk to us anymore. What happens? Can we still talk to her? The line opens only begrudgingly off after several frames resets and several automated forwarding services connect and encryption protocols settle. Callisto, Zal says when the feed finally stabilizes. I thought you might contact me. Her speech and video are out of sync and patchy. You wonder if she's even in the local volume of Finkelhild, or if she's got some kind of jerry-rigged hyperwave comp setup, or if this is some kind of generated persona. A league agent named whatever told me where Sila is. Uh, Zal smirks, and before she appears to speak, her voice says, by the way, this is a recording. I have certain commitments. It is my understanding that League Intel has you on your way to meet Cory, for their own reasons. I would advise you do not trust their intentions. If you must go through with it, leave your poor Kevin out. Leave poor Kevin out. He's the image poses. Sorry, the image poses thoughtfully, somewhat before the audio catches up. He's a good kid. Continue. Oh, the halting, the halting image of Zal smiles widely. If I could ask one favor of you, from you, when you finally find Sai, be sure to bring her a block of sub K brand alamang. It's krill pasta. Make sure it's a blue bar, the good stuff. You can only really get it on Finkelhild. She says everything else belongs in a recycling tank. That's it. The voice goes quiet before the image, which looks at you for a moment, then down. Then the image of Zal flickers and degenerates into a mosaic of corrupted compression algorithm artifacts. Have your quartermaster buy some krill pasta. Captain, your quartermaster asks through the comlink. You tell them what to do and used to strange orders, they assure you that it will be done before you deorbit. You disconnect the comms, wondering at what exactly is going on with Zal and what seems to be an unofficial hyperwave com relay. Any answer, it seems, are to be found in the Ishira system. Cut the comms. Good, 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 good. Let's see what happens in the Ishira system. We have to go over here. That was a lengthy read. Um, let's go. So Cody has a friend, and she's also on the run, so she also has her own issues with. Maybe I should have talked to Pharaoh, but whatever. Let's leave him now. Let's listen to the girl. I like to play nice. Ouch. Um, let's see. Ask around Sila. Ask the technician what's going on. Okay, we can check that out. Let's see what's happening. Artemis. Okay. Let's see what do you have here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh, they said monitors here. Interesting. Anyway, let's ask the technician what's going on. The station technician is grunging like kale habitat jumpsuits. Responds well to your offer to buy them around and listen to their troubles. You mentioned having had comms disruption in an iron storm once and ask what sort of trouble they're having. It's strange, says the big one. They're not. There's no real pattern to it. Every few shifts, it just goes zap. Lots of noise gumming up some of the orbital beacons. Bossman makes us go out and check the beacon, and it's nothing. A lot of fooling around for no reason, I say. No, not Ironstorm either. We don't know that. She says the smaller partner. Ain't no natural, was it? What do you think it is? Ghosties, says the big one, eyes wide. The smaller ones sighs and mumbles under their breath, Lud's sake. The big one looks annoyed. No, let me tell it. I told you I wouldn't run your ear about it anymore, but the captain here asked nicely. Please go on. It's all them people that died in Groombridge when the reactor went critical. The big one says, no, not went critical, was made critical, because it was murder. They got no space, no peace, see? because it wasn't a clean death and there's no justice. So they're calling out for someone to help. That's what it is, a signal from Gurumbridge. The small one speaks up quietly. Can't know that. How do you know uh, the interference is coming from Groombridge? Directional receiver, the big one looks proud. Yeah, but the small one interjects. I gotta remind you to reset the alignment origin on that thing half the time when we're out checking beacons. The noise could be from anywhere, could be anything, some pulsar or something. I thought you said it wasn't natural source. Well, no, the small one sputters. I'm just saying that as an example. Anyway, they check their datapad. We gotta get back on shift. Buttons up. The tech finish their drinks, give you their regards, and head out. You don't find their mixture of work and intemperance particularly reassuring, but maybe there is something weird going on at Groombridge Habitat. If someone really is sending secret encrypted signals, return to the bar. Let's ask about Cory. You ask about the missing academician, buying Monterest. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. You're having trouble finding your friend, says an off shift dock worker in an utilitarian Vascult liner. I shall pray for your reunion. Wait, are you some kind of pather? The dockmaster's expression shuns down instantly. I am not a pather, Captain. I do not follow the teaching of the Church of Galactic Redemption, and I'd rather you do not make bigoted assumptions. We are not all fanatics and terrorists. They stand leaving an untouched drink. Blessings of loot be upon all souls, both large and small. They say and stomp away. Return to the bar. Interesting. The loot is implicated. From a shadowy both of. So Gargoyle was right about all of these things. You see, in all of their insanity, there is some truth to it. From a shadowy booth, nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, let's see what happens if we go talk to Artemis. So after a short wait, your connection request is accepted. This is Archon Artemis Shah. How may I be of service? I'm looking for Cory. Do you know anything about the Galatia incident? Let's ask about that. Yes, actually. Recent events in the Galatia system, right? Dangerous what the academy got up to. And while they deserve reprimand, the hegemony reacted with typical overreach. The Persian League filed a complaint in the Interfactional Dispute Council. Did you hear? We don't expect much to come of it, but someone has to say something, right? The Archon examines you for a moment, then says, "You, why do you ask? Um, do you think anything like something like that could happen here?" Of course not, she says curtly. I'm kept informed of all major industrial and research projects in the system. And the pirates, the last word spoken with a tone of some annoyance. They aren't capable of anything truly catastrophic unless another warlord shows up, but that's why we pay our share to the Persian League Armamentarium. Uh, this has a 40k vibe here. The Archon shift sits up straighter. So I assure you, Captain, you have nothing to worry about while doing business on Lycale Habitat. Good to know. I'll rest easy. What if Cory is on the station right now? She's looking nervous. I don't know what you're talking about, Captain. Without some kind of evidence, look, I have another appointment. Good day, Captain. The Archon hits a button and dumps you back to a holding pattern bearing the spinning crest of Lycaile Habitat's executive council. The Archon is hiding something, but you won't get it out of her without some kind of compelling evidence. Oh, so we have to do some investigative work. Okay, so they said that a station nearby, this station, is there are ghosties over there. Let's go check the ghosties. What, I already hit an asteroid? Didn't notice it. Bam. Let's see. The station primary reactor has become stuck in the direst possible failure mode. Considering standard safety mechanism, this can only be the result of international sabotage. Your rad counter ticks away impatiently. Search the station for the source of the mysterious signal. You assemble your senior officials to discuss the matter of secret comms bursts directly at the Ishira system. A preliminary scan of the Groom Bridge habitat rotates slowly in the holo projector's display. Why here? I mean, rhetorically speaking, your nav officer says, because the only reason to relay signals from here to Laikal is if your signals were coming from a hidden hypercom relay. Your com officer raises a hand at you, but your node speaks. It's unconventional, but Groombridge is uninhabited, so no one would complain about hyperwave wash. Your ops chief speaks next. The reactor shooting rods like it is. No one would look too close. No scavenger. I kind of like you have a competent team on your ship and on your crew, and they're not like, oh, look there is a clue, let's go check it out. No, they kind of use all of the technical jargon to explain, like you really feel like you're in the future, and they are quite competent and educated and professional about how they approach this, and they it feels very tactical and very meticulous. So it's super good in terms of writing. If there was a hypercom relay here, how would we find it? Red armored drones, your ops chief says. One-way trip. If a relay is in there, I'd have a damn strong rad shield. So we'll know what to look for. Do it. I really feel like a captain is like, do it. At the turn of the next shift, the armored drones are prepared, and your ops chief oversees their deployment. You follow their progress through the projection of Groombridge habitat, filling in the fuzzy volumes, shielded from your scans or too radioactive to get a good read. With sharp details, an anomalous shielded mass is found soon enough in a damaged work bay in close proximity to the deadly core of the station. Tech and comms begin discussing how to breach and hack the relay. Your ops chief growls an interruption. If I were them, I'd rig it to blow look if I got looked at funny. The other officer go quiet. Sponsors, the sensors speak up. We just have to intercept an in-system signal, right? Assuming it's tight cast, we could deploy cloud of detectors. Your ops chief looks at your sensor officer and sighs. Make it so. Within hours of establishment, a makeshift detection cloud, the relay sends a squirt. The whiff of an outbound signal is projected by your navigation at your flagship bridge main holo display. The line points towards Lycal habitat. Not quite, but close enough. Maybe a relay is close in a close orbit. This is the sort of tech Corey is familiar with. And even if it is arguably circumstantial, it's a weird enough setup that you can probably scare the authorities at Laikal with the revelation. Ghost is indeed. With two different pieces of evidence, you feel confident that you have sufficient leverage to confront authorities at Laikal Habitat about Cory. It is time to talk to an Archon of Lycal Habitat. Okay, 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 okay. Let's go over here. So we were directed correctly. I think we would have spoken a lot on the ship and look for other clues, or maybe go back and talk to the other guy on the other space station and got a clue. So there's many ways. Let's repair the ship. Nobody's here. Quartermaster. Okay. Um, I know Corey is on the station, and I can prove it. The Archon freezes up, stemming. I'm, of course, I. Now it is the time to drive it home. What inconvenient truth will you reveal to the Archon? Tell the Archon about the secret hyper comms relay at the Groombridge station. As you upload sensor readings, and the scans recorded by red hardened drones, you explain to the Archon Shah what they show. That you discover the secret hypercommunication relay in the derelict Goombridge habitat, and it's been sending periodic transmissions to a repeater close to this habitat. Someone has been talking without using official channels. The Archon goes pale. I was told that it will all be above board. If they're keeping secrets from me, there's no telling what they could be doing. You nod. The Archon shakes her head. How could this happen? They said that there'd be no wild experiments. Tell the Archon about the intercepts to her from the radical on Finkelhild. You explain that you have a communication intercept sent by Kevin Farrow, a dangerous radical agitator of Finkelhild, to Corey on Lylecal. Ah, if Fleet Intel knows about this, then what's their game? The Archon looks grim at this prospect, and if Fleet Intel doesn't know about this, then that's even worse, isn't it? As you forward the fake intercept, the Archon finally finds her words. They've told me anyone would be quiet, no trouble, no games. Let me see, Corey. You don't owe the Persian League anything. Uh, I'm under strict orders to keep intelligence matters of the Persian League policy secrets. Archon Shell sounds defeated. Orders from Kazeron? I can see who really runs Lycal. She is a free citizen of the League. Does that mean nothing? Fair enough. Sorry for the prying. Let's go with the second one. Look, the value of our freedom has as much as no. We value it more than those tin pot plutocrats from Kazeron. The Archon sputters. Raikal is a free and proud, and by the stars, that means something here. Even if you don't see it, and her face starts turning red. They say don't ask questions. They say League defense and need to know, and we've got a handle on it. Do they? With this whole mess set to explode, Archon Shah closes her eyes and takes several deep breaths. Then meets your gaze and says, "You're right. I've been letting those Khazaronian spies push me around, push Lakael around, lord it over us with their security clearance. Drows, I've let down what it means to be like Kylian. Say nothing." The Archon's voice steadies with a cold rage then that's seen building for many cycles. But we're better than that. We need to show them who Lycals really belongs to. Not a bunch of Kazeron gen babies trekking dirt onto our fine station. Captain, take a shuttle. Meet me at the executive docking ring. Let's go see Cory. The Archon doesn't await your reply before she pounds the comms disconnect. You're left standing at the spinning crest of Lycal's Habitat Executive Council. Let's leave and let's go meet the Archon. You step off your shuttle to meet the grim-faced Archon Shah and their entourage. You are introduced to the other 6 members of the Lycal Executive Council. The Archon assures you of their full support, though a superstitious eye roll by one of the council members in the back suggests that the Archon's enthusiasm is not shared by all. The Archon's eyes find the package of krill pasta tucked under one of your arms, Sub K brand Blue Bar Special. She raises an eyebrow but makes no comment. Archon Shah speaks a quiet word into her comband, and a small squad of diversely equipped Lycal militia appears. Captain, let's go see that safe house, she says, and turns to lead your party toward the station transport shaft. So the Khazaronians are kind of, I don't know, a higher class probably um, in the Persian League, and they're kind of like akin to the Tritakion, but obviously not on the same level. So they're probably trying to be more altruistic and whatever. They try to push people around, so these guys don't like it anymore. So the safe house is a low-rent commercial warehouse in a medium security volume of the station ring. The thin bulkheads leave you just within earshot of the thundering bass of the twill inter- entertainment in course a couple sections over. At a scare of officials and station militia approach the entrance of the safe house, standard cargo lock, a trio of lounging league agents leap to their feet. Watch what happens. The station Archon strides forward and, channeling the resentment you stoked, uh, Heron, Heron, Harangs? I don't know how to pronounce that. Harangs? The League's agent for endangering the station, stomping on the rights of League citizenry, and above all, gross incompetence. The young Kazaronian agent in command wipes a drop of sweat from their forehead. Archon, we've got this. League security demands, no, you don't got this. The operation is riddled with leaks. The Archons glance briefly at you, and melt your meltdown of an operation is a direct threat to our security. Local Habitat is exerting its sovereignty rights in the matter as of now, with the full support of the Executive Council. Interesting. The League agent lowers their wavering pistol, and at that, the flanking agents lose the strength of their composure. The Archon takes the agent pistol, checks the safety, then shoves the agents away, leading you to the airlock. The control panel gives way to executive override codes, and the Archon motions for you to pass through the armored doorway. A woman stands before you, holding a datapad, looking quizzically at the newscom. You look around the dark space, looking in the shadowy equipment racks, humming machines and cargo crates. A small zero-G style hub pod in the corner must be her domestic space. Cory, I presume. Yes, that is me, she says courteously. And Archon Shah, this is unexpected. To what do I owe the honor? The Archon nods towards you, Captain Callisto, who has a way of poking around in other people's business. Now it's your turn. Cory spots the package of krill pasta under your arm. Is that Sap K Blue Bar? Where did you? A gift from Elise. Cory breaks into a smile of genuine joy. Of course, we always talked about how bad it smells, but nothing is as good. She takes it, almost caressing the plastic with lost in some memory. She returns to herself with a shard with a sorry, with a start. Oh, I'm sorry, just old times. She puts the package on a workbench. Please explain why are you here? I have a message for you. Archon Shah eyes you. Novel Ball inquiry about whether she is intruding, and concluding that she is. I'll let you to speak privately. Citizen Cory, I am inform you that you are now under the direct protection of the Lycal Executive Council. We shall ensure your safety on this station. And she casts a glance back at the League's agent, and ensure your right to freedom of movement as per the Persian League Charter. As if just remembering its existence, the Archon slips the League's agent's pistol into her belt, nods, and steps toward the ongoing shouting match back in the airlock. Baird wants me back, doesn't she? Cory crosses her arms. Give her Baird's message on your datapad. You pass the datapad to Cory, and she takes it to the chair set at the workstation a few meters away, activating a privacy field that dulls the sound and blurs the image. Look around. You turn to examine the workshop. Racks of sub AI processing cores sleep in coolant cradles fastened with wires, an iGrav equipped overhead which holds a machine casing in safety locks above a macro assembler with its modular components exposed. The workbench nearby holds several multi-purpose engineering arms hovering over some device. Its in innards arranged like an exploded engineering diagram. A couple minutes later, the privacy field collapses and Cory emerges. She looks tired. She hands the datapad back to you and says, I'll come with you. What did Bayard say? Cory looks at you with eyes hardened and gives you an ironic half smile. Bayard always gets her way. Didn't you know? Well, we kind of know now. Well, let's go then. Okay, but I need. Cory looks over her workbench, computing array, and projects in various states of completion. My things. You inform her that you have special team, a special team that's well practiced in moving delicate scientific equipment. In fact, you'll introduce her to your ops chief to make arrangements right now. Continue. Within the hour, with the full cooperation of the Lycal Executive Council and the station quartermaster, You have Cory and her equipment packed and transported to your fleet. Next stop, Galatia Academy Station. Baird always gets her way. Let's deliver her to Baird. We're assembling a nice team there. I really like how this quest is formatted. The story is really cool and everything is just so deliciously contoured and described. It's just yummy. What a nice day for a ride through the clouds of the subspace. Oh, come on, where is Galatia? How are we so far? But we are closer. Well, everything is going nice. We are doing good progress. I'm gonna stop after we deliver her here. Your fleet is interrupted. Okay, Captain reports your comms officer. She wants to speak with you. Bam. The image of Provost Anahita Baird appears. Captain, it's good to see you return. Finally, bring her by shuttle. She says directly to this docking port. A chime signals the receipt of navigation instructions and docking codes. I'll meet you there. The comms line shuts off. You step off the shuttle, thrusters clicking as they cool, followed by Cory. The scientist was quiet on the brief shuttle ride, which has returned her to Galatia Academy Station after her time in hiding. As promised, the provost is waiting with a small group of masked guards and senior advisor. Academician Sebastian waves as you gaze drifts over him. It's good to have you back with us, Sila says Braid. Well, wave back at Sebastian. Why not? Let's make him happy. Karus nods to Baird's words, though occupies herself with examining the reception lounge. It hasn't changed much, she says. Something in this doesn't please the provost, you think? Well, says Baird, I believe you'll find that quite a lot has changed. Academician Alvis Sebastian, please come forward. Thank you. I understand that you knew Sila back at his vigorous nod. She says, yes, of course. Sebastian brings to welcome Cory, shaking her hand and asking about her trip. Cory raises an eyebrow at the question and Baird interrupts. There will be time for that later. Alvis, please show the newly reinstated academician Cory to her quarters. Then show her to the new laboratory. Baird pauses, seemingly to examine Cory for a response, but Cory simply bows her head slightly in acknowledgement without meeting Baird's eyes. Cory, I hope you can thrive here again. Perhaps, please go with Alvis and keep an open mind, Baird says. Captain, thank you for finding her and bringing her home. The provost watches the two leave the receiving lounge, standing to chat. Cory finally starting to smile. With Sila, we can begin to we can begin it all again. Baird holds up a hand to indicate an adjourning transport pod. Let us remove to a more suitable setting for continuation of our discussion. Board the transport pod. Bear seems to study the passing conduit and vitals visible through the pod's bay windows. Last interest. Oh, okay. We can ask some questions of her. I don't think the Persian League will be happy to lose Cory. Some among their ranks, yes. A hint smiles forms on Baird's face, but others can see that this is the best way forward. The League can't pull the best and the brightest from the entire sector. The Galatia Academy can. They don't have the theoretical research and experimentation infrastructure we do. It's all practical matters uh, with their fleet armamentarium. Weapons, warship, heavy industry, and doing out contracts to gen allies. Furthermore, sub-factions within the league could not call an open vote on a matter so delicate as this. We merely resolve their political questions by other means. The provost tips her head toward you, acknowledging your role. She doesn't like you, does she? Baird looks at you for a long moment. You think you see something new, something almost like emotional pain. Scylla never appreciated the gifts the Academy offered her. It's now it's how she was raised, perhaps. Her insubordination was indulgent, become habitual. But with time, when she sees what we accomplished, maybe her higher sense of rationality will win out. I know she's capable of it. Baird turns standing forward and sets her jaw. Through her silence, you can almost hear Baird's thinking. The transport pod hisses to a halt, and you feel the subtle shift of agra fields. You step off to and note that this seems to be a back entrance to. Okay. We read this. Oh, Gargoyle is there. As you enter Baird's office, you notice that Gargoyle is in the sitting area, heels resting on the common table. The hacker casually closes a hollow display. Oh, so good of everyone to join me. I was getting awfully bored. I thought I might read some files, but you got here just as I was getting started to hack them, obviously. Although she shows no outward change of expression, you get the familiar feeling of potent apprehension and clarity, which fills your gut with a high powered starship weapon it's armed to fire. Provost Baird speaks with firm authority. An amusing prank, I'm sure. Now remove your feet from there before I have you removed from my office again. Yes, ma'am, Gargoyle mutters silently, dropping boots to the floor. Provost Bear moves behind her desk, brushes the surface with a scowl, then taps a few keys. First, Captain, she says, you ought to be compensated for your fine work recovering the valued assets. Your personal datapad pings in response to a command she entered into her desk interface. Gargoyle perks up and withdraws a highly modified datapad trailing loose cable. After a moment, it also pings, to which Gargoyle says, Anahita, don't spoil the good captain. Are you watching my accounts? We got 65k. Gargoyle gives you a guilty look, slowly showing the datapad. Don't even start, Bear snaps. Fight about it after this meeting. She gives her head a shake and returns her attention to the desk interface. A hollow projector image blooms into a space above Bear's desk, a surveillance feed of a glimmering new physics laboratory. Um, Corey is being introduced by Sebastian to various academicians, judging by their formal dress, and technicians in various states of protective garb. They look young and eager to begin work. She seems to be settling in, Bear says, motioning at the display. Sebastian is more capable than he appears. He has been both persistent and okay, we read that. Gargoyle speaks up. And just look what happens when he's not keeping an eye on me. All sorts of trouble. Of course. Baird nods in acknowledgement, then says, my team has been working on Calicor's data, decrypting thanks to Gargoyle's hard work, I must admit. You see, Gargoyle takes a small bow as if having completed a masterful performance. Though we've started reopening previous avenues of research, she says, having Koi here to form the heart of the advanced theory team will result in tremendous progress after Calicor's bungling. This is her life's work, after all. And, Gargoyle interrupts, I cracked those hegemony snooper sets. All reports will be green across the board, no suspicion, hyperspace, folding going on here, officer. Baird nods in acknowledgement again. Indeed, Gargoyle has been very useful. She turns to you, and you as well. I anticipate that you will be instrumental in carrying out these experiments to their full effect, as I expect that some will entail dramatic results. Provost Baird pauses and turns to you, examining your reaction. You must be wondering what this is all for, Captain. Not really. The pay is good. uh, you're obviously trying to reopen the gates, of course. Almost unconsciously, she shoots a look at you, a flash of anger of ruining her momentum before she catches herself. Yes, Captain, and more. This is about opening up the galaxy again. I have done, everything I have worked for, has always been about the gates. Gargoyle makes a tiny applause at the revelation, somewhat undermining the gravity of Baird's speech. Baird ignores this, taps a datapad, and the holoprojector flickers a 3D high map into existence. You recognize the image, a map of the domain era gate network within the Persian sector, a dense spot in one prominent lobe contain what you know as the core worlds, or more precisely, what the gates can do, Baird says. Gargoyle speaks up again, more earnest somehow than usual. Freedom, imagine that, Callisto, the technology that the domain used to enslave humanity, liberated the small minds that rule us. They're all still shackled by domain mindset, all alike in their own way. Three-tack luders, the hegemony, soulless minions of orthodoxy, all of them. Imagine if we took that all away from them. Imagine if anyone could go anywhere and do anything. Gargoyle crackles, rocking back and forth. He's a little bit like a Joker, but in a good way. I don't know. Continue. You notice that Baird has watched Gargoyle without emotion through this speech. As Gargoyle settles down, becoming distracted by a datapad, the provost speaks to you in a tone of commanding finally. Return in a week or so, Captain. My people need time to work. And you've earned a break, but keep your head down. The factions are restless after what you pulled in Ishara. Bert returns to her desk console, examination expression moving across her face as she appears to skim messages. That is all, Captain. I want to talk about your intervention with this technology. Bert turns from her desk display and looks through you. There is no technology, Captain, merely possibilities, and vast through those possibilities may appear, they are yet mere possibilities. She turns away again, dismissing you. We shall speak of this later. You feel doors open soundlessly behind you, and the mirror mask guard's presence, like a slight rise in static electricity. Time to go. Gargoyle joins you on the way out, giving you a sympathetic look while muttering something. Perfect. Can still speak to these guys. Nice, 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 nice. I'm just gonna save here and we're gonna continue next time because I'm getting really tired. It's difficult to read this text. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay awesome, guys. Bye, 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 bye.